Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Finally, you can play video games without gameplay. Available on the iFruit phone, drone, and all overpriced tablets, it's Digifarm. All the mind-numbing tedium of an agrarian lifestyle combined with the soul-crushing loneliness of the internet in a game truly worth 99 cents. Digifarm. Finally, you're actually watching the grass grow under your feet, digitally.
I'm a tiny farmer. I click on buttons and watch plants grow. If I get bored, there's always the farmer's daughter.
It has an incredible sense of achievement. Buy sprites. Feel better about yourself. Do it again.
Awesome.
The Digi family of mobile games. It's a revolution in human interaction. It's a revolution in social.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Third Shift. It's episode 475. And I, of course, am one of the hosts, Mr. Eric. And I'm with you, having a good time today. But I'm not the only one. As per usual, you all know the inglorious bastard himself is here. It's Mr. Matt. We're closing in on the holiday spooks. We got the ghosts coming, the zombies coming. Man, will there be anything scary happening soon? Only time will tell. But until then, of course, we got to ask Matt how's week's been before we talk about some video game shenanigans. So, of course, Mr. Matt, how the heck has this week been for you?
I don't mean to be this guy, but why is it hot in here, Eric? I'm so hot. Like the whole time we've been talking beforehand, I'm just like, I can feel it's borderline like a piece of sweat running down my back. Why is it? It's like 50 degrees outside. Why is it hot in the apartment that is not insulated? So when it's normally cold, it becomes cold. It's cold now. It should become cold. This has been my intro like 14 different times this year, but I'm hot and I'm uncomfortable and I'm sick. Listeners, I'm sure you can hear I sound sick. I'm a sick boy. I'm a sick man. But over the weekend, it was a great weekend/week. Went to the Wart Center for Beauty and the Beast, the musical, Disney stage show. Phenomenal. Just great. A delightful experience. Everybody knows Beauty and the Beast. Everybody knows the classic 90s one. This was really good. Really fun. And I'm not going to say anything bad about it because I'm sick of sounding like a curmudgeon whenever I go to anything. So I won't say, oh, all the parents who talk to your kids the whole time through the show to try and get them to stop talking through the show, you're twice as annoying as the kid is. I'm not going to say that because I don't want people to know that I'm an old curmudgeon, even though I am one. I don't want you to know that. But the show was great. Like the performances were great. Singing was great. The transformations, I will say, on stage, there's 2 transformations in the beginning. There's obviously a transformation at the end. Really well done. Like really cool. Just like a couple years ago when I went and saw Frozen, they did a really good, it wasn't a quick change, but like pieces of her costume like flew off as she changed. Here it was quick changes from one thing to another. I don't really need to worry about spoilers, but you know what I'm talking about if you know Beauty and the Beast. Really cool costumes, really cool show. Good times. Very same day, AEW had the Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. Just, man, AEW pay-per-views are the best. Every time there is one. Even like this one, I wasn't super psyched for it. I was like, oh, there's a pay-per-view tonight. I guess I'll watch it. But man, geez, golly, they do the best wrestling of all different kinds. Tag matches, women's matches, hardcore matches, straight-up technical matches. Just a great show. Great, awesome show. Now, video game front. I had hoped to come on here and say, hey, the Steam Next Fest was over like the past 2 weeks. So game demos dropping all the time. Limited time demos dropping everywhere. And a lot of the demos on that page, I looked at them and was like, I'm not interested in that. But I downloaded 6 games because they were graphically interesting or looked really cool or something. And I played 5 of those games all in a row and none of them hit. Like, you know, just not for me. I'm not saying they were bad games or anything. But I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I don't want to talk about this because then I'd have to say, well, it looks pretty good, but oh, the gameplay was kind of hinky-dinky. It didn't really do anything for me. And I said, okay, 6th game, you're the last one here. You're the only one who could possibly do it. What are you, game? I watched the trailer again to see why I downloaded this game. It was a demo of a game called 5 Hearts Under One Roof 2, or Season 2, or Week 2, or whatever. And this is a Korean FMV game. Basically, it's like a visual novel with all these pretty ladies. And I went, oh, yeah, that's why I downloaded it. Well, let me check it out. Because you know what? It's been a rough night. It's been a bad night for demos. At least I get to see some pretty ladies on the FMV screen. And I played through the demo. And what I didn't know, because it's kind of like a Tenchi Muyo style scenario. Like, oh, you meet all these pretty ladies and your house is renting out rooms. And oh, man, they're all under one roof. And who are you going to choose? Who is your heart going to find love with? And I went, okay, so this could either be like a dirty game or just like a silly fun game. What I didn't know or appreciate until I was in the demo was how ridiculous this game also was. I'll give you an example. I had 2 examples and I can only think of one right now because I'm sick. But you get hit by a car at the start of the game, so you have a broken leg and you're in the hospital and you meet like a pretty nurse, a pretty lady who she's like, oh yeah, we know each other because of... So she obviously hit you with the car. But you go into the doctor's office and you can click around kind of point and click style in the doctor's office from that first person perspective. She's got a manga like on the back shelf of her office. It's like a fighting manga, like a boxing one. You pick it up and your character, this is FMV. He picks it up, he looks at it, he goes, huh, that's kind of weird. And you put it down. But now that you've looked at that, later in the game, when you're going to a convenience store to buy some beers, there's like this underage kid trying to weasel this lady into selling him beers. Oh, I forgot my ID at home. Ha ha ha. So your options are either, ignore it, jump in and try and kick the guy out. And then the other option, because you found this fighting manga, is like, hit him with the spinning kick. And I went, what? Click that option, obviously. And you do like a hurricane kick from Street Fighter on this guy. And the camera spins around because it's all first person FMV. And you shout out some wild attack name and you boot this dude like all the way down the aisle in the store and he runs off crying. I went, whoa, what's going on here? In another scene, that pretty lady who obviously hit you with her car, she's got some like mafia tough looking guy behind her all the time. Like nobody acknowledges that this man exists in these scenes, but he's always there staring straight down the barrel of the camera at you. And like as she's moving or making gestures, he does the same thing in the background. Like, who is this man? What is going on? You can go out to eat with this lady at like a little ramen shop. In the background, this dude is munching on like this hot dog on a stick. Not a corn dog, but like a literal bear hot dog on a stick. And it's ridiculous because it's beautiful, like 8K video, like amazing quality. But you can tell they filmed your options in the scene in sequence. Because if you pick the option on the left to do whatever. Like she eats spicy ramen and you can respond however you want to respond. Like laugh at her, give her a drink, leave. I don't know what they were. But if you choose the first option, he's like chewing on this hot dog, like making these weird bites out of it. And he's like 3/4 of the way through it. If you choose the middle option, suddenly he's halfway through it and he's doing these weird, but the right option, he's like 25%. I just loved it because it was just, there was not literal consistency, but there was, because he sat there and did these scenes all in order. And it was just supremely goofy. So it's like, this game is great. Put this on my wish list. I want to laugh and have a good time and also meet some pretty ladies. But there was an original game, 5 Hearts Under One Roof 1. I went, well, I'm sold. Download that, play that. It was, I will say, a little sexy. It wasn't pervy. It wasn't, a porny game or anything. It was a little bit sexy. It was a lot cute. And it was not quite as ridiculous as the demo for 2, but there were a bunch of silly moments in it too. So I played that a lot this week. Of just, I'm bored, I'm sitting here, I don't know what to do. I'm going to play that. I'm going to smile, I'm going to chuckle. Wow, it was pretty fun. It's a game that it seems like it should be like a weird, dirty game, but it totally wasn't. Just kind of cute and fun, silly. I had a good time with it. So I finished that last night or 2 nights ago or whatever. And I said, I know there's a game that's coming out this week. I can't wait to play that game. I'm going to talk about it as my release, so I won't spoil it here. I can't wait to tell Eric that I played this game over the week, and I pulled up my Xbox app, and the game does not unlock until today as we're recording this. So I threw my mouse aside, and I said, okay, I'm just going to beat Hades 2. That's what I'm going to do. And I booted it up, and that very next run, I killed Kronos. And obviously, if you know how Hades works, spoilers for Hades 1, and I guess for Hades 2 as well. When you beat the last boss, it gives you more story, so it's not the last thing you do. You go back and you do more runs, and you get more story each run you do. It's just great. The game's great. Having a lot of fun with it. Felt good to finally beat the boss. It was on my 19th night, but no spoilers for the mechanics of Hades 2. At least 4 to 5 of those other runs were something different. So those were short runs that didn't really count because I was doing something else. So about 15 runs to max out and beat Kronos. And then the next run I did, whooped him like that, no problems. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I wasn't mad that I was stuck, quote fingers, before, but it just feels good once you punch through and you're like, okay, I can really do it now. Like I have everything I need to do it. So I can just go wacky with builds or try this out over here or I've unlocked the modifiers now to make it more difficult and different each run. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. And video games and real life, it's a great life except for being sick. What about you, buddy?
Well, to start it off, Mr. Matt, we also did play another game together. We played Borderlands 4 together.
Correct.
And we had a Friday night, and we did some hours of Borderlands 4, and we did what we never do, which was main mission, some of it. And so we were just going through, saving that scientist lady's butt, handling business, taking names, going back and forth. It was a good time. Do I remember everything? I don't. I don't remember everything that happened. I just know that we were saving her, and we did it. We got it. We saved her, and then we did some more missions for her, and then we helped out Rush a bit with some other issues he had. And then, we did things. Stuff happened.
We beat the big dude, too. We beat
Yeah,
the
that's
big
right.
dude, even though it was a little weird. The fight was a little funky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did beat the big fat man and had a good time with it. I got another legendary Matt was upset about.
Yes, I have. Yep, I was. Yep.
Yep. So that happened. So I'm living aces right now with Borderlands 4. I've gotten a couple legendaries. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling powerful, and I can't wait.
And I'm still enjoying it. Like I said before, the last time we played it, like 6 months ago, the gunplay's great. I love finding new weapons and doing new things. It just felt very bad and strange that whole night. But just every time we do a story bit, we would do what we always do. Well, you would do it because you were the map guy.
Mm-hmm.
You go, well, we got a thing to explore down south. We got 2 side quests to the east, 4 side quests to the west, an activity to the northwest, and the stories to the northeast. What do you think we should do? And I'm like, God, this is when I gripped my controller and I gritted my teeth and I said, we gotta do story. And, okay, we're doing story. And we do that story bit and, well, what do you want to do now? To the southeast, we got, and it broke my heart in several places. But hey, we did some things. We progressed instead of just doing no story whatsoever and still having fun. I still had fun, but
Yeah. And we're kind of at a bad spot. I know it's on the agenda later, but we can kind of tie it in right now anyway. Is that Borderlands 4 just released October 23rd. It's Kairos, little mini DLC, whatever you want to call it. It's holiday fun, the horrors of Kairos. And unfortunately, we're nowhere near beating the game. So some of the stuff comes from the world boss. Well, if there's only one, I think there's only one world boss right now. So the world boss, you can get a chance at a legendary grenade, a legendary weapon. And we don't get to have that, Matt, because we're nowhere near the end of the game. So this year, we're missing out on the chance to get those 2 items. However, with a shift code, we can get a skin for the weapons. There's a seasonal weather variant going on that I'm hoping we can still at least see and check out, even though we can't kill the world boss. I think it's tied to. I'm not sure if it's tied to it or not. I'm confused on that.
I think it is.
Okay. And then we all do, via shift code, get 1 head, which is a jack-o'-lantern with a knife through it. So pretty cool, pretty exciting. Can't wait to pop in there and see what it's about. At least even if we can't kill the world boss, I'm hoping to maybe get to somewhere that allows that weather variant to happen, just so I can see it this year. Don't know if that's possible or not. But definitely get out there and check out this wonderful little DLC. And of course, there was a patch this time around, right? With a whole bunch of patch notes, And we're going to read them off for you, just like we used to, right, Matt?
That's right. Okay, let's everybody put your belts on, get your things going. They said, hello, Vault Hunters. Can you believe we skipped that part.
Yeah.
Progression, loot, and rewards. Okay. Reduce specialization respec machine cost from 5,000 iridium to 1,500.
Ooh.
Added drops to a certain boss fight that was not dropping loot. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you always want bosses to drop loot. Why don't you take the next couple, Eric?
Yeah, I'm just kidding. We're not going to go there. Stop.
Oh,
stop.
come on.
No,
Wow.
no. We're not going to do it. Y'all know the deal. Go read the dang patch notes if you want to know what the hell's going on in the latest and greatest of Borderlands 4. But I did really want to mention the Horrors of Kairos, and of course let you know that me and Matt did finally get back to it a little bit. But of course we can't play until this coming up Friday unless Matt's busy, because life is life, and that's what we do. We only get 1 night a week of Borderlands action. So until next time, I did play some other games. I played some Battlefield 6 with the brother-in-law and the sister, and it's great. I don't know. It's hard to really talk about the game because it's just a lot of fun. Go in. I'm always an engineer. I will say this. If you're listening to Battlefield 6, EA, whoever's making this, all right, DICE, you gotta change this up a little bit. Right now, I'm an engineer, and I always go RPG because I love just blowing up tanks, etc. But you can't do that in this one. They take 25 damage, which means you need to get 4 hits off of them, unless you're lucky enough to get them in the rear end, which then you can get them in like 2 hits, I think it is, roughly, as long as they get no healing, no anything. It just doesn't happen. If you try to be a sneaky snook and try to get around to the back end, tanks this time around have tons of protection. There's always other players around these tanks. You getting that shot on the rear end without getting killed instantly right after is like really hard to do. And of course, it's much easier just to get hit on the tank, period. But it only takes 25 health off of it. So you got to hit it 3 more times. So you got to be perfect with all your shots and getting a hit on, not getting killed. And on top of it, there has to be no healing whatsoever on this tank the entire time. It feels bad. My main objective is getting the tanks off the playing field. And I feel like I can't really do it unless there's just a really bizarre situation where this dude's solo just flying around like a goon. But that doesn't typically happen. So right now, playing as an engineer feels a little bit bad when I'm trying to get the tanks. I still enjoy it because I can obviously blow up the buildings. So if we got some snipers just really causing problems, I can just, all right, you know what, this building's going down. Boom, RPG. There. They ain't using that nest anymore. It's gone. So still fun, still useful, but please consider changing the defense on that tank or something to make it a little cooler, a little more fun, a little more entertaining. That's all I got to say on that one. But other than that, having a good time with the Battlefield 6. And last but not least, I played Ghost of Yotei a whole bunch. I don't know how long this game's supposed to be. Because, of course, you can't listen to any of the websites and the podcasts because they just mainline through and tell you absurd numbers that make literally no sense and are not real. But I'm nowhere near it. I have only killed the very first Yotei 6, the one you kill in the intro of the game. I still have not killed a single other one, and I'm like 49, 50 hours into this game. So I don't know how this game operates or where we're going from here. I don't have a clue. But I'm worried. I love this game and I love playing it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, is this going to be like a 140-hour game? Is this going to wreck all my aspirations for all the other games I've been playing for the rest of the year? And I'm screwed. This is going to dead end me into the December timeframe. So I'm kind of getting nervous about it. I'm almost feeling like I should back out and just force myself not to play this. Go play all the other games. Because there's like 3 of them right now. I could probably wrap up in like 4 hours each or so, roughly. 4 to 6, 8, maybe. I'm like, maybe I should just give up on this one for now. But I have so much fun, Matt. Getting into that world, going to the next camp, finding the birds, following the birds to a fox, following the birds to a hot spring, doing a side quest that the routine. And it's so addictive. And you just keep doing it and you're doing it and doing it. And all of a sudden, 3 hours has gone by. And you've blinked. And I love that loop. And I love the feeling that I get when I'm doing all my favorite moves, pulling out that bow, getting them cross hits, pop, 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 taking out half the camp before they even know I'm there. And then just challenging them to a head-on battle and just whooping them. It's so much fun. They have perfected what Ghost of Tsushima started. And it's right here for me to play. And it's so hard not to play it, even though I really probably should stop because I have a suspicion this is going to be like a 120-hour plus game for me. I don't know what to do. I'm confused and I'm sad, but at the same time, there's other great games that I have that I shouldn't be sad about. There's amazing games. I've been having a great time with them. I need to finish. So, in a little conundrum, not like a gaming funk, just I got to figure out if I can either just pop through this one and smash it, or if I go do other stuff. That's been the week, real life-wise. Not much happening. I did have a moment where I was really sad, thinking about the chili cook-off we missed and just really wishing we could have done that, but it fell on quarter end and just wasn't working out because Matt also had an engagement. And I miss it. And fall's about to be dead here, and we're about to be in winter, and it just breaks the heart a little bit.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I was super depressed like that day because not only was there that chili cook-off, there was also a beer fest in Grand Ledge that day. So like, what a great early afternoon and then late afternoon that would have been. But it just wasn't feasible. I have been fiending for some chili though. So like work's had chili. I've had chili here at home. Man, if I could have just done that all night long with my best buddy, it would have been even better. But something else you can do with your best buddy right now is play my game release. This week, you and I, Eric, could play this together tonight if we wanted to do that. That's Powerwash Simulator 2. which drops today as we're recording this, the 23rd, developed and published by Future Lab for PC, PS5. Why did I put PS2? That's not right. Xbox Series consoles, and the Nintendo Switch 2. That's where the 2 came from. Plus, I'm sick. I was probably typing it on a numpad, and I just got a typo because I had to sneeze and I had to cough. But man, I did play a little bit of Powerwash Simulator 2 right before we got on here. I played about 5 minutes, and I'm going to say, everybody said it. If Powerwash Simulator 1 did not jam your jingles, this isn't going to either. But if you do like Powerwash Simulator, this is just more of that. It's a little bit shined up. It's a little bit cleaned up a little bit, but it's just more and a lot more. There's like 36 different missions in here. So you're cleaning up all kinds of stuff. You're getting the goofy little story via texts and emails, but the story doesn't really matter. The whole thing is just cleaning up stuff, bringing it back to life, hearing those little ping, 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 pings that hit every time you clean up a section. And it's just that like little, everybody says the little Pavlov little dog ringing the bell and you just start drooling. And that's what it is. I mean, it doesn't look much better. I mean, there's basically no sound to it. There's no music. There's just the sound of your sprayer spraying around. But this is that game it's just satisfying. When you look at it, when you watch it, and I was watching some reviews, like I watched the GameSpot review, and I think the IGN review, maybe Game Informer as well. I don't think they had video, but I read their review. When you watch it, especially with someone talking over it, it just leaves me cold. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to do this, but watching it, ugh. But when you play it, and you, like I said, everything starts off so gunky and grimy with this weird texture, and it looks, 3D, it looks gloppy and disgusting. But when you blast through that first section with your water and you see, I think it was a van. There's a van is the first thing that I got a third of the way through cleaning before we had to do the show. It just looks like absolute garbage. And then you go, psh, and you see this bright yellow like come through. Man, you just have to do it all. It makes you want to do it. And I'm not going to lie, in Powerwash Simulator 1, there's sometimes I'm like, all right, one more job. And you load in and it's an entire city that you got to clean. I'm like, oh, geez, brother. But once you get into that mode of just, it kind of has that same feeling like we always talk about of like cross-hatching a map in Ghost of Yotei or whatever, doing every single thing that's on the map. It kind of gives you that in a little micro form. Just clean every little thing on here. It just feels good. It's not a great game, there's not great mechanics or challenge or anything. But if you just want to zen out and you want to kind of just get some little Pavlov hits, Powerwash Simulator is pretty good. I like it. It's not for everybody. I'm not going to say it's game of the year or anything. But when you want to put on a podcast and kind of zone out and just soft focus, kind of do your thing, and then but also feel a little bit accomplished at the end because you're zzz, it's satisfying. I don't know what to tell you, but it's out. This one you can play co-op, which some people of those reviews have said some of these jobs are too big. So if you're doing it with a buddy, it just feels a lot better because some can take you like an hour and a half to do by yourself. Or if you're doing it with a buddy or two buddies or three buddies, you're going to be cutting it in half, having a good time. For what I've played, 15 minutes that I played, just feels as good as the old one. Feels like fun. Not a game you're going to like marathon and be like, this is the only game I'm going to play. But if you want those like zen out nights, and you want to just not focus on something important, Powerwash Simulator is great. Powerwash Simulator 2, it's also great. I recommend it. Go check it out if you're interested.
Well, speaking of power washing, I still have a beautiful heart that says, oh, Eric and Amanda, heartsy hearts, that I power washed into my driveway years ago when I was power washing the front of my porch. So,
hell yeah.
The power washer's still there and it does its job. If you ever want to come do some power washing, I can do that. We can make it happen. You can spray stuff into my driveway all you want. I don't even care. Just have a blast with it.
That's what I need to start doing is like go to the second half of the big giant job, write something in there, and then go back and do the rest. And when I get to that back half, I'll either have forgotten or I'll be like, oh yeah, it's time to see Matt is great. Ha there it is. That's the last thing I'm going to clean off. Woohoo!
That's right. See, you can do things like that with the power washer. And on top of it, you don't got to worry about Demented Wizard, though, because we just had a little discussion, and he's coming up north, and we're going to the mines, Matt. We're going to the copper mines, and we're going to be mining. So we don't got time for power washing anymore. It's time to get the pickaxe.
So do me a favor. When you guys mine stuff and you put it out there like for display for people to see, to not steal, call me and Mom. She'll steal it, just like she notoriously does for copper in mines in that scenario. And I will run back to the car out of embarrassment and terror, and it'll be a good time. I'll get to relive something from my childhood. It'll be good.
This sounds fantastic. We'll definitely do that. But before we get to that, there's another little game that I found, which I gotta say, Matt, you picking Power Washer 2 is driving me nuts. a game you hold dear to your heart. Outer Worlds 2 is out. Came out today. And you don't want to rep it. You don't want to make it happy.
I don't think it's out today. I think it's out like in a couple days. Because it would be on the Xbox app right now, but it wasn't.
Well, I should say, maybe I'm wrong. The game reviews are all out for it.
Yes, the reviews
it
are
has
out
been
today.
reviewed, and it is there.
I think it's like the 26th, so it might be like...
Okay, so you got a couple days left
weird.
on this.
A few days, yeah.
I hate it when you get the early reviews, because then it starts to really screw me up.
Well, that's the same thing Powerwash did. I saw some reviews of that, and that's when yesterday I went, I'm playing it now, and we can't. It comes out tomorrow. Sorry for the distraction there.
Well, that's okay, because I screwed myself up in that whole thing, Matt. So you got to give me a second now, because I got to go back to the dang thing so I can be completely accurate, because I'm an idiot and got off of there.
To be completely accurate, Outer Worlds is the 29th.
Oh, my God, that's like weeks away. Yeah, next week. All right, so with all the distractions, with all the hustle and bustle, the Lonesome Guild is out right now for PC only. It was published by Don't Nod, as I already said. It was also developed by Tiny Bull Studios, and this game only piqued my interest because of the title of the game, the Lonesome Guild. And I used to have a guild, and we were all friends, and it was great, and I had such a great time. And then I was lonesome because the guild went away, and I didn't have the guild anymore. And I went, well, what's this game about? So I clicked on it, and come to find out, it's actually really damn cool looking. It's an ARPG, action RPG, for those of you who don't know, and you are a ghost. And then you try to recruit other individuals in this world to help your cause, which is what? To stop the scourge of lonesomeness that's going across the land. So you recruit these individuals who help you fix people's problems of being lonely. And to do that, there's monsters all over the place, things you got to collect. Your typical ARPG action going on. And of course, your characters are these adorable little like fluffy animal type critters that you get on your team. And you've got your mean old big old tank character. You've got your magical character. You've got your healer type character. You got your attack slasher type character. They're all in this, and they all have their own side stories in which you can get your approval rating for them up and get their own subsequent, like private stories to get your friendship levels up. And it's all about keeping those individuals that you've recruited from getting lonely and helping the other town folks and other village folks from also getting lonely. It's just a game about friendship and hanging out. And all the while, you are gaining all new skills as you would do it in any ARPG. And of course, equipping your team the best that you want, recruiting the members that you want to keep on the team. But of course, like any other like Persona type game, it behooves you to switch them out because there's different combinations for different members of the team. And of course, you want your rapport to go up for all your members so you can get those really cool side scenes with you and just that person getting your friendship levels up and up and up until it's maxed out. All in all, it looked really sharp graphics wise, very colorful, very nice, very vivid. It has all the cool tellings of an ARPG. So you get your typical RPG guys up in the corner whenever skills are being announced or they're on the screen in like the circles or the waves or the arrows and narrows. And so you get to run around avoiding all that while you're doing your own with your teammates. And what's really cool about this one is you don't control everybody at once. Like I said, you're the ghost. And so you will go into one particular character and then they will gain temporary extra powers from you. But it behooves you to keep switching because that power wears down. And then you want to jump to the next one and boost them up. And then, of course, while you're doing all this, you have your own like mega meter. And if you let that go full tilt and then control somebody, you get like this ultra abilities for that character. And so you kind of get its own system in place where depending on who you're fighting, you kind of want to make sure that ultra tilt's on the character that's going to be best effective against whatever that boss is throwing at you or that enemy that's giving you a tough time. So on top of your typical ARPG skills and everything else that you're trying to do, you get this extra bonus one happening that you kind of got to manage. I thought it looked really neat. And from the reviews and whatnot I read, it's not super difficult. It's not going to blow your mind in that regard, but it's just a fun, really good story that'll just take you away for, 10, 12 hours and take you somewhere else. Little animals having fun. I just liked it. And I had no idea this thing existed, but it's only for PC, which is a bummer, but everybody loves Steam. That's what I keep getting told. So go on to Steam. It's like $21 on sale right now if you want to do it. And beyond that, I believe there's a demo for it. And not only that, if you're watching this second, which you aren't because it's pre-recorded, the developers themselves are playing the game to kind of get some foot ground, some swell going for the game. So check that out. Go watch the post-recorded video of it and see if you like it.
And speaking of Steam and games, this isn't a full release or anything, but I did get pinged this morning that Bounty Star, The Morose Tale of Graveyard Clem, is actually out. This is a game I had wish-listed forever ago, and I don't know if you remember this, Eric, but it's like Old West with mechs, and you're playing as like this bounty hunter lady who has some like dark, mysterious past that is very sad and broke her down or something. And we both were super jazzed by the trailer, and then we heard nothing about it for like 3 years. It's out, and IGN gave it an 8. So I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen any gameplay or anything since we first talked about it, however damn long ago it was. It feels like years, but I was surprised to see that, and it got a good review today from IGN, so maybe check that one out too. I don't know. But if you're on the Steam, go check out a game which has been free before because it is in my Steam library, Distant Space, which is kind of a Space Invaders style shooter. Like you're stuck to the bottom, but you're shooting as enemies shoot down at you. That's for free. It's got a weird graphical style. And then there's also a free game called Darkenstein 3D, which is like a throwback to not quite Wolfenstein 3D, but like old school Doom and stuff like that. It looks better than those games, but it's kind of inspired by all that stuff. So 2 more free games on Steam. Obviously, Bounty Star is not free, but I had to mention it because that's something I remember from forever ago and never heard any updates on. So that, you got free games. We got more free games coming up. Games out the wazoo, guys.
They're all over the damn place. And of course, sticking with the free games over on Amazon Free Games. This week, you've got Hell Slave. This, I had no idea what the hell it was. I looked it up, and it's like one of them retro dungeon crawler RPGs that looks awesome. You're a hero, but to save the day, you have to make a deal with the devil. And of course, that's not what you wanted to do because you wanted to defeat the devil, but these demons have just completely overran everything. So you do the deed, and you gain all sorts of demonic powers to do battle with these other demons. It's got that grim, dark vibe going. It's got all the cool, dark animations happening. This title looked pretty damn badass. And if you go over to Steam and look at it, they've announced a Hell Slave 2, which is probably why this is popping up for free and getting everybody humming and drumming about it. So good for them. So if you're in the mood for a nice demonic game, old school dungeon crawler type game going on, this one's for you. And then there's True Fear, Forsaken Souls Part 2. This is like a weird, it looked at first like it was actually like an escape house type game. But when I was looking at it more, it's more of it is an escape the house type, horror game. But it's the old school kind where here's a room and you have these items and you have to utilize the items to figure out the puzzles to get to the next room and stuff like that. So that's there for you for free if you want to check that one out. And of course, man, we got a Lost and Found Agency Collection or Collector's Edition. Sorry, not collection. What's this one, man? Do you know what this one is?
Hope alert! It's a Hopa, baby! Now, I will say, looking at the screenshots on Steam, there are some other mini games, but I don't care. If I don't include everything that says hidden object, at least it all in it, then we'll never get another fucking Hopa alert ever in our lives. So it's a Hopa alert. Rejoice, everybody! Thank God Legacy Games has teamed up with Amazon Free Games to give us another goddamn Hopa. Thank you. It's about goddamn time.
It is about damn time. I saw that title and I immediately went, this could be the one. It could be. And it was, and I was very excited for it. Thank you very much. But that's not all from Amazon. I got one last one, and that's Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. This has been everywhere. If you haven't got it, well, now you can get it here too. Just go pick up this game so you can have all the Fallouts. Like everybody at this point should have all the Fallouts. They've been free forever on a million places. Fallout 3, get it.
And then go over to the Game Pass. We got another whole slew of games. You know what one of them is, but I'm going to go run down the list here. You have PAX Day, which the picture of it is like a hand and like a godly little woo-loo-loo. And I went, is this some kind of like platform and adventure with gods and angels? No, it's an MMO. So the MMO games, blah. But you have that. It's like a medieval MMO. It actually looks pretty good. Like the graphics look pretty good. Then you have Keeper, which is the latest from Double Fine Studios, where you are the lighthouse that comes to life and you're lighthouse walking across the stage doing stuff. You have Evil West, which I know has been on here before, but that's the one where you got like one weird big arm and like you got all kinds of shotguns and stuff and you're gunning down demons and stuff in the Old West. You got Ninja Gaiden 4, the latest Ninja Gaiden, jumping and flipping and dodging and cutting stuff up. You got Bounty Star, which I just talked about, literally, so you can play it on the Game Pass right now. You also have Pacific Drive, which I know has been on there before. That's the survival, roguelite-ish, kind of going with a car and the whole world is going to hell. And then you got Powerwash Simulator 2. So try out any of those games, because if you have Game Pass, they're free for you to play as much as you gosh darn please. So go check out any of them. It doesn't matter if you even like them, because you played them for 15 minutes, but you played it for free. Who cares?
Indeed, and I think that the Pacific Rim one's got, or not Pacific Rim, Pacific
That'd be
Drive
good too.
has a brand new DLC that just hit too. So
Okay,
this
cool.
could be the end to get you going on the DLC, which looks like it has a very, oh my God, I'm blanking on his freaking name. I've read all of his works. Cthulhu type scenario going on, whatever.
Lovecraft. I was blanking too.
Jeez, oh, Pete, H.P. Lovecraft. How am I blanking on that? Anywho's, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Go check that one out. But that's not it. Epic has a game, Fear the Spotlight. Now, this is a really cool indie title that was part of like a collection of indie title horror games that were announced and talked about, I don't know how long ago. And this has already been out, obviously. But it's one I wanted to check out. You're two girls, I believe it is, in school, and all sorts of weird stuff's going on. And there's this, once again, this evil thing, entity with a spotlight that's going around, and you're trying to avoid it and stay alive. And it's very spooky and scary, and it's got a really cool art design going on for it. And it's come to you for free during the spooky season, so it's a win-win in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. And what could have been a win-win, but is not a win-win because who knows what the hell's going on with it, is I saw, I think it was yesterday, a Blue Sky article from VGC, who I don't like that much, but they do have a lot of video game news. And they said, Scarface, The World Is Yours has been re-released for PC. It's on Epic right now. It's coming to Steam soon. And I rubbed my hands together and I clapped them and I drummed my feet at my desk because I loved the Scarface game. Now, granted, it wasn't as cool and as like gigantic as, you know, Grand Theft Auto Vice City or any of the proper Grand Theft Auto games, but this was a proper Grand Theft Auto clone that took place after Scarface, the movie, which obviously doesn't make sense, but they made it make sense in the world. Driving around as Tony Montana, taking over territory. You had like real estate mechanics to build up your empire and all that stuff. And I went, sweet. Ah, that's awesome. I'm going to play this as soon as I get home. 15 minutes later, VGC said, oh, an update. The publisher pulled it down from everywhere because everybody's blowing up about it because they don't seem to have the rights to any of it. So the publisher was like EKG Games or something out in Hong Kong, who like, they shouldn't have the rights to any of this. They dropped it on Epic, and it apparently dropped with community mods that people had used with the old version to get it to run properly. And those people who made those mods said they didn't talk to us about that at all, including that. And they said, you know, you don't really have to, but it would have been nice. But with the licenses and everything, we're surprised that this is happening and re-releasing because it had 100% licensed soundtrack, you know, Grand Theft Auto style. And they can't even re-release those with the full soundtrack anymore because music licenses are just a giant Gordian knot of garbage. So it was immediately delisted. So it was there. Now it's not there. Do these people even own the rights to any of it? Probably not, with as fast as it went completely gone. But this weird publisher, quote fingers, from Hong Kong said, oh, we're in urgent conversations with people about the rights and the legals and the whatevers. So I wished I was at home that day and I would have booted up Epic Game Store and immediately got it. And then they couldn't take it away from me. I mean, I'm sure they could, but you know what I'm saying. I'm 100% convinced it won't be. But I'm hoping this leads to it getting re-released on a platform you can play it on with mods that allow it to play well. Because it was out for, I think, PS2 and Xbox, the originals, way back in the day. They did a Wii version somehow, like 2 years later. And then, it's one of those games that's just gone. Can't play it anywhere. I've never seen it re-released anywhere else. But it gave me hope. Because I loved that game back in the day. Like I said, it wasn't great. But it's one of those games from back in the day that could be not great, but you could still have a blast with. Like when I talked about Mind's Eye all that time ago. It felt like that kind of a game. And like, hey, here it is again. You can relive some of your, not childhood, but like 20s hood. Cool. And then now it's gone. And it probably shouldn't have been up anyway. But it was one thing that got me really excited this week. And then very sad. Weird things going on there. I don't know.
That's crazy. You don't see that too often because that stuff's a big deal. A lot of money getting involved when you start doing things like that. But hey, apparently Hong Kong doesn't care. Well, they do, obviously, because they took it right back down and went, oh, okay, wow. A lot of people are going crazy about this one. Oh, goodness. And another thing to go crazy about, y'all, is of course we talked about this before, but he's actually out. You can play him in game now, and that is Persona 5's protagonist Joker is now available for play in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, along with his Arsene Wings, his vehicle. Yes, and several of the songs from Persona 5 are also there for you if you want to listen to them while you're playing the game. I cannot wait to get on there and play as Joker and just fly across the world listening to my favorite Persona songs. It's going to be just a good damn time. I really hope in the future they release more characters from Persona 5 on the roster and get to play for more and more music as well. And then even a selected stage that's just dedicated to Persona. Oh, my heart would just flutter right out of my chest if that happens.
Now, I agree with you. I would love to see more characters from Persona 5 specifically. But what about one character from Persona 5 Strikers? You know, the little android girl. What's your name, Eric? What's your name?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot. I always say her name instead of the other girl's name.
That's true, you do.
From, I don't even know anymore. It's all Jarble. Oh, man.
I was just thinking about that the other day, too. Quick tangent. But, you know, I was on my PS5 and they got like that welcome screen thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you could put like highlights from your media gallery. Tons of Persona 5 Strikers trophy screenshots and videos have been coming up in that lately. And that's been going, man, I know I didn't like it as much as the originals too, and Royal especially, but I could go for some Persona 5 Strikers again.
Mm-hmm.
I could go live through that story again. That'd be pretty damn good.
The locales were great. Sophia.
Sophie and Sophia, yeah.
Sophie,
yeah,
yeah,
you got it.
We're there, yeah. And Wolf and the gang, man,
Mhm.
you know, going to Okinawa, going to that abandoned factory or military complex, whatever it was called.
That's why you got that RV, because it looks like the RV for Persona 5 Strikers. I know what you did.
You see?
You did it.
I was trying to relive it. I was doing it right. Yeah, that was a good game. I really, we're going on a tangent, but at the first part of it, I was like, I'm about to jump off this game and I'll never touch it again. But once I broke through that first boss and understood what the game wanted, man, the rest was just chef's kiss, lots of fun, great times.
I remember I did turn it down to easy to play it, but then to get the platinum, I had to do something on like merciless mode. I had to bust through to some boss. And once I knew what I needed, then even playing on merciless, I was like, this is it. I felt like I was in the zone, like dodging and countering and doing all this stuff. I was like, this game is pretty freaking great, dude.
Yeah. A lot of good times. I miss you. But anywho's, if you're like us and you're nostalgic for Persona and you really want to get back at it in any way you can, Sonic Crossworlds has your back for right now. Go check it out. The only bit of news we got really here is that Sarah Bond just recently went onto a podcast, had a little chat, and I can go ahead and just, in quotes, here's like the whole paragraph so the context is right. She says, the biggest games in the world are available everywhere. You look at Call of Duty, Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox. That's really what's driving community and gaming. That's where people gather and have experience. So the idea of locking it to one store or one device is antiquated for most people. You want to be able to play with your friends anywhere, regardless of what device they're on. And I was like, for a player, it's 100% absolutely true. It just is. And I'm starting to really feel like it's coming around to where it's absolutely should be true for the Sonys of the world, the Nintendos of the world, the Xboxes of the world. It's just more money. It's simply just more money. Because let's face it, look, me and Matt kind of went back and forth last week about how many games gamers buy a year, etc. Your typical gamer isn't buying all three systems. It's not happening. They're picking one. So what good does it do you to be the one that doesn't get picked? Say Nintendo, for example. Hey, I love Mario, but I don't really care about anything else, so I'm not picking Nintendo. I'm going with Sony because I get this and this and this. What good's it do you to lock yourself out of that person? Then there's a bajillion of them. Instead, if Mario was on Sony, maybe even for just like a $10 extra charge you'd have to pay, I can now get the one or two titles I do like from Nintendo's catalog of games, or vice versa from Sony's catalogs or from Xbox's, which I don't really include Xbox because they're already moving in this direction. They're putting everything everywhere, period. So I feel that she's actually right. I feel like that statement's accurate, and I think that the big companies should reevaluate and move forward
Now, I think we have talked about this like a number of years ago. It was when crossplay was starting to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we agreed at that time, put stuff everywhere because you'll get revenue from people you wouldn't normally get it from. And now, obviously, Xbox is moving in that direction. But I mean, it just makes sense. And we see it every day, or we'd hear it at least once a month or once every 2 weeks at work from Howard, because he'd be like, hey, I heard you guys talking about, for example, Ghost of Yotei on the podcast. Can I play that on my Switch? No, Howard. What? Can I play it on my phone at least? No, Howard. Before he got his PS5. And, you know, most players, like the players she talked about who play Roblox and Fortnite and Minecraft and whatever, they can play those everywhere. So if you think of those gamers who aren't we 1% of gamers, then they do want that. And it does make sense. And you'd have to buy a $600 console and then an $80 game in order to play it. They're going to shrug their shoulders and throw their money at something else and go, well, I'm just going to stick with the thing that I can play everywhere, whenever I want, all the time. I'm not even going to bother with that crap. So it does make sense. Obviously, she's saying it because she's with Microsoft, and that's the way
that's where
leaning.
they're going.
But generally, if you think about it, even just outside of that, how great would it be to be able to play Ghost of Yotei on your Xbox or your Switch 2 or wherever you wanted it, wherever you wanted to do it, whatever game it is, it doesn't even matter. I think we've been in agreement that cross-player availability everywhere is good for everybody. But, I mean, again, yes, I reiterate that again.
Very much true. But it was a different discussion last time because crossplay is very much different from exclusives coming to, you know, systems that would never exist there.
Yeah, but I know we have discussed that also, too.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most recent. I know we've talked about it.
So there you have it. We're still in conjunction here. We're still together. Please, everybody, just start releasing the damn games everywhere and make it so that you're fighting for the added bonuses of getting that particular system or whatever. You know, like, hey, if you come here, we're also giving you this much power, this much availability of this and that. And that's where you choose your home. Oh, we love these colors and these themes. This is what we're going to do for you with your experience with these games. That makes you want to come here and have that experience through us instead of the other two guys.
It was that way for Xbox Live for the longest time. Like, they had the best online gaming type of a feel. I feel like everything's kind of caught up to that now, except for maybe Nintendo. But what if, like, since you have to buy like a $900 console at this point, how about, hey, 2 years of X streaming service. If you buy this console, you get that. Or you get, you know, if there's no exclusives anymore, you get, buy a console, get a year of Game Pass Ultimate. So you don't have to buy anything. You just boom, 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 boom. Here you go.
Yeah, I would love that.
Because the consoles are getting out of control. Every pricing for everything is getting out of control. And if everything is available everywhere, they need to give more value than just that. I don't know. Like you said, they need something, but I feel like added options to, if you get a PS5, you can watch HBO Max, all the flick you want for 2 years. Okay, that's a good additional value.
Yeah, she began getting strategic deals with other things to make it more valuable, Crunchyroll, etc.
Yeah.
And this will be another day's conversation, not today's, but we got to talk about the fact that, you know, all the leaks are happening right now for the PS6 and, of course, Xbox's next system, which they've talked about some, and how Xbox is going to apparently be moving into a very pricey, more PC-based system. That's going to probably allow GOG and Epic and Steam, which is awesome, but it's going to cost a very large amount because it's basically going to be a PC, and PS6 is going to go for the tried and true. We're going to stay a console, stay $600 range, and be inferior in every way to the next Xbox system, but still in a walled, as someone else quoted, I don't know who, the walled garden that, you know, has existed forever. And that's just crazy to me. We got to definitely pay attention to that and maybe let those rumors and leaks become more realistic first. But I definitely want to talk about where the hell that's going to go.
And I think that also ties into the discussion we've had before about prices going up everywhere on everything. Mm-hmm. Like, what does that mean? If the Xbox is way more expensive but goes everywhere, is that worth the giant hit? Or do you take a smaller hit to just stay here? Okay, you said it already. That's a different discussion for another day, but it's an interesting discussion at the very least. And speaking of interesting, what's more interesting than Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner? Is that even what I call it? I'm so sick I don't even remember the name of my segment. But if you remember last week's question, it was, in Mass Effect, Which alien species is affected by the genophage? That is, of course, the Krogan. Now, another question for this week. Whose experiments with the time machine kick off the events of Command and Conquer Red Alert?
Whose experiments with the time machine kick off? Can I phone a friend?
You can't. Who are you gonna phone?
James McCann. He played this game like nobody's business. He was a nerd back then.
You know what? Call him up right now. Get him on the phone right now. Let's see.
Oh gosh, let's see. I'm phoning a friend, folks. You don't get to phone a friend, but I do. Okay.
I will allow it this one, and that better not be Google that you're phoning right now. That better literally be James that you're texting.
I'm gonna call James up on the phone. As a man does not do, because we don't call friends anymore. That's kind of the way this goes.
You're gonna call his landline? Is he gonna have to like answer it in the kitchen?
Right? Is he gonna answer his phone?
Cord?
All right, I'm calling him. All right, we're calling him. It's ringing, everybody. In case you don't know, I'm phoning a friend. James, you're live on Third Shift Podcast today.
Hell yeah!
All right, I got a question for you. You ready for this? All right. What's the question, Matt? Give it to me again.
Okay. Whose experiments with the time machine?
Whose experiments with a time machine
kick off the events of Command and Conquer Red Alert?
Kick off the events of Command and Conquer Red Alert. Oh my God. Thank you, James. You failed me. All right. You failed me, buddy. I appreciate it. I appreciate the truth, though. Thank you so much.
Oh,
you're the only nerd I know. I thought you'd have it for me. God bless. Yeah. Well, oh my God. Thanks a lot. Bye. Jesus. He failed me. All right. Dr. Timothy Venqua.
I will give you one more shot for half a point. It's a real life scientist person.
Okay.
Correct. You got it. There's a half point for Mr.
Look at a half a point for me.
All on his own with no help from James. Jesus
Stupid
Christ.
James. Useless James. Some say he's useless. Some say.
So if you know the answer to that question, or if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, any mailbag questions, if you have any thoughts on any of the things we talked about, if you're enjoying the free games, if you're hating the free games, I don't even know. Drop that to us via the email thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftMe. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Hit up the Discord. Hit up the Patreon. If I'm streaming, which I should be, I said that last week, but I actually should be this week. Hit up a stream. Hit up my house. I don't care. I'm sick. Bring me some chicken soup, goddammit. I need some soup.
Ooh, yes. Get this man a good chicken soup, man. That sounds actually fantastic. I might make some this weekend for me and the family. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll even drive over to Matt's house and give him a little cup of soup to warm his soul. And of course, speaking of warming the soul, you can have it over to Patreon, like a little tip jar, boop, 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 a couple bucks in, warms the soul, makes us feel so warm and fuzzy inside, and pays those bills. But if you can't do that and don't want to do that, you can support us in all the other ways, such as going to Twitch, where Matt said he may be streaming this weekend, and throwing your Amazon Prime money our way. Pow, 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 $5 off of Amazon, not you, off of them. It's a win-win for everybody. If you don't do that, you can also go to Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. Go to Spotify, give us a wonderful review. You can go over to the Discord, join in, have some conversations, have some fun, mailbag questions, all these things you can do to make us feel so great and yourselves feel great as well. Go do it.
And of course, you can also listen to the very next episode, which will be dropping on or around the 30th of October on iTunes, Stitcher, on Poppy, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, rating, review, a comment, subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out. We really do appreciate it. I'm just picturing what James must have thought. He turned his phone over and he saw Eric Batten.
He thought it was for sure real.
Anyway, what's going on here? Hey, buddy, what's happening? Maybe he answered even like I always answer my phone. Well, what's going on? But you probably call him more often than I would call. I get calls from anybody.
I occasionally do call him, yes, for something or rather where you need to correlate.
Oh, but that's outstanding. I love it.
Yes, it was still I only call him maybe 3 times a year. So this was one of those 3 times. He got it. He was definitely in the, hey, man, what's up?
I'm in the middle of doing something with my kids right now. What's going on here?
Yep. And then the laughter of his wife in the background as he has me on speaker and I'm tell him that he's live on the podcast and whatnot. So good times for sure. And of course, if you want to keep those good times rolling, consider giving us that 5-star rating over there on Apple Podcasts. Last week, I think I told you, we've been bled dry. We're dying over here. We're so thin and frail. Just this week, I've been having to take this knife I got here on my table and just partitioning off little pieces of my own flesh to sustain the energy to do this. You're going to turn me into Frankenstein's monster, folks. Help me, help you. Give me a 5-star review out there, and I will be so replenished, so fulfilled that I will no longer have to cut parcels of my flesh off and eat them to give myself the energy to do another show. Come on.
Then with that, there's nothing else to say but.
Shut up and sit down.